Perfect timing. Look at that.
And we're live. Look at that. I told you 6:55.
You did say that. I thought that would take longer though.
Translate Cyrillic for our bet. Oh shit.
We just flip-flopped us.
What the fuck? Oh my god, I did not know I could do that. Look at that.
What, just flip-flop us back and forth? Gonna make people sick. Oh, jeez.
I guess I can't copy and paste that.
Your computer doesn't have the option to just right-click and go to translate to English.
No, try it out. It says show or block.
I just found it. It just says the Red Army is the strongest right there. Bam. Translate.
Well, you're fucking wrong.
That's what it says.
No, I'm saying Brian's wrong.
Oh. I was like, I'm right here. I was like, I just translated it. So
yeah, no, it doesn't actually give me the option. It says show, and then I've got the little menu that says block user, put user in timeout.
Oh no, I can just right click on a phrase that's not in English and translate it to English.
Right. I'm literally if you could see this, you would understand. You'd be like, oh, okay.
Fair. Well, this 2011 laptop must have some good features going for it, I guess.
Well, other than the fact that you can't fucking game with me.
I can't do anything on this laptop. It's terrible, yeah.
Right. I'm going to buy a bunch of guns, 18 guns, and I'm not going to get a fucking modern laptop that I could buy more modern guns.
It is a modern laptop. It's just not a good one.
Okay.
Just not a good one.
Okay.
That's right. Well, I got it for like 90% off back when I used to work at my old job because I needed it for work.
Yeah, in like 2018. It was 7 years old. You got it for 90% off in 2018, right?
No, I bought it in 2016.
Oh, so it was only 5 years old already.
It was only 5 years old when I got it, yeah. So, but I got it for like 90% off, and work paid for the vast majority of it. So,
right.
I basically got it for like $5 or $10 or something like that. It was absurd because I needed it for work.
Well, it's a good thing you don't need it for YouTube or gaming or online shit here in 2021 10 years later.
Yeah, it's all right. It's on the to-do list, Mike. It's on the to-do list.
So you get around to it in like 2025, and then you'll buy a computer from 2018 in 2025.
Yeah, there we go. Sounds about right.
Yep. It's rebuilt. It's perfectly fine. Geek Squad told me so. I'm just going to
build one so then I can take the parts out of it and upgrade it as I go for cheaper than buying a whole new one.
Okay, good luck with that.
It's pretty easy from what I've been reading about it. So,
yeah, so you're taking shitty parts from your shitty computer that you currently use, and you're going to put them into a new, brand new shell.
No, I'm not taking shit out of this one. Where did you get that?
You literally just said, I'm just going to take parts out of this and then...
No, I'm going to build a new computer so I can take parts out of it and upgrade them as I want.
Okay, you said out of this. And I'm like,
no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Maybe you didn't, but that's what I heard, I guess.
Yeah, but no, I was like, I'm just going to get a tower and build one and then be able to replace parts as better stuff comes up.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna get a desktop too. Like,
yeah, I feel like the tower is the way to go. It's so much easier to change stuff out because you're gonna have there's so much room in it, you know.
Yep, and it's like,
then I could get a big monitor and do whatever.
Oh Christ, the first yawn already.
Jesus. I know, right? Well, we are starting pretty late compared to when we normally, an hour later than when we normally.
Yeah, my bedtime is usually now because I usually get up at like 4 a.m. So
I feel you. I had a nap though because I was so fucking cold after work.
Yeah, I was banking on the fact that you wouldn't wake up in time, and like this fucking game. Oh my god, it's. I haven't had a game suck me into it like this in a long time.
Yeah.
So that should say something.
Fair. What do you feel about our bet now that we're approaching the time if nothing happens?
We got 5 minutes left. We're 50% of the way there. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, I've got 15 hours on this game since yesterday.
That's absurd.
It's
Get a life.
I took a couple days off, man. I was burning out. I was like fucking just
Yeah,
getting
you
sick
were
of
really
everything.
going at it for a while. That's true.
Yep. So I was like, I'm gonna take a couple days off and I'll ship shit this weekend and then
Yeah, this weekend when it's the coldest fucking day of the coming week. So. It's gonna be so fucking terrible going to work tomorrow.
Yep.
It's gonna be like negative 26 when I roll into work.
Yeah, it was 22 this morning.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. My car had a real fun time starting today.
I'm sure.
Oh well. At least I've only got one place tomorrow.
Let's see the weather forecast.
Cold.
Yeah. Yep.
Way cold until about Friday next week, and then then we're in the clear. So.
Yep. Thursday next week is gonna be 25, which is gonna be like fucking sweating profusely
Yeah,
wearing a
I'm gonna be
t-shirt.
in like a t-shirt dying. Yeah. So, compared to this shit, it's gonna be like 50 degrees warmer.
Yeah, it's people to understand is like, so when we say negative 22, that's the air temperature.
Yeah.
That's not like the wind chill, like what it feels like. So, okay, going from negative 22 this Friday to 25 above next Friday, that's almost a 50-degree difference in a week.
That's a lot. 50 degrees is a lot.
You know what I mean? Like, it's insane how fucking ridiculous the fluctuations are.
And then if you factor in the wind chill with this cold.
Well, but even like, okay, so the springtime, right?
Yeah.
It goes from 0 degrees to 40 degrees within a week.
Yeah.
And then back down and then back up. It's like it fluctuates so fucking much. It's like your blood doesn't have time to thicken or get thinner.
Yep.
And your body just goes nuts. Yeah, it's just fucking stupid.
I was explaining to somebody, rather than, there's a lot of places that are always cold or a lot of places that are like always hot. But like where we are here, there's like 160-degree temperature range every year.
Yep. Yeah,
and
there is.
In 6 months, it'll go from 110 to negative 40.
Yep.
So, and people don't get that. That's absurd.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's 150 degrees in 6
difference.
Months. Yeah. That's
and it's like, like you could feel your body adjusting too. Like
when
it got colder out, I get really lethargic and tired and I feel sick for a day or two. And then I'll go out in the cold and it's like, oh, this isn't that bad because my blood thickened up.
That's right.
And it's like,
it was just horseshit working. I dreaded it. But like the second day, it's like, oh, this isn't so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, your body must adjust faster because I take about a day.
Yeah.
To like actually get to that level of
cold. I also
cold.
really don't have a choice. It's like you're standing in this for 8 to 10 hours. You're doing it.
Yeah. And I've done that before where, when I was working back in the day and it was like negative 20 out plus wind up in a fucking bucket truck, changing out fucking 100-pound, light fixtures. Yeah, that was fun.
Yep. Oh gosh.
But yeah, it's like, and then when it gets warmer out, right?
Yeah.
You get those hot flashes. Like you feel like you have hot flashes. You're like, oh God, it's like it shocks you, but your blood's just thinning up. And it's like, okay, thinning up for the heat.
The first day though, like Wednesday, I'm gonna be wearing like all my winter gear, and then the second Thursday comes around and it's gonna start cold and then it's gonna get to like 25. I'm gonna be like melting out in the back of my truck with like a t-shirt on and like
you feel like you're warm,
but like a t-shirt because I'm gonna be dying.
Yeah, it's insane.
What do you do? And Valentine's Day's this weekend. Great weekend for it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
Have fun with that.
I'm not doing anything. I'm making salmon.
Making salmon.
I'm making salmon. Yeah. Salmon. Not doing anything special. It's going to be too fucking cold. I did have plans, but it's too fucking cold. I'm not doing that.
what the fuck were your plans?
To go out, which I'm not doing because it's going to be so fucking cold.
Not worth it.
Yep.
No.
So, well, looks like nothing happened, Mike. 10 minutes are here.
Well, nobody wins, nobody loses.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes, yeah.
I get to keep my lovely dollar. Look at that.
Yeah,
My
I have to
lovely
keep mine.
stinky stripper dollar.
Does it smell like a wet mop?
Sort of, kind of. You know what? Like moldy bread, kind of that smell.
Yeah. All right, here. Nasty stripper dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I guess we're boring, Devin.
Why?
RK's like, boring!
Well, come on now. They're off having their own conversation. We could talk about whatever.
Oh no, he just went on. He's like a dick joke, and then boring. It's fucking boring. Just leave. He probably already did.
What did we
So what we bet on is that within 10 minutes of this starting, I said I would get one person at least. Well, it was actually who would do it first.
Yeah.
Which person would say, nice German here, or, Wehrmacht or Nazi outfit. And then Devin said,
somebody will figure out it's Swedish.
Right, within 10 minutes. And since you guys fucking
just had your own conversation for 10 minutes
and didn't even comment, nobody won, nobody lost. So
that's right.
There we go.
Well, which uniform is it now so we don't confuse the 12-year-olds?
This is a Swedish 1936 uniform.
Oh, see, there you go. Nice Norwegian uniform. There you go. That'll piss. If Tom was here, that would piss Tom off. Yeah. Tom would be, yeah.
Jem for Schweiger.
That's right.
What the fuck? No.
An East German air traffic controller.
East German air traffic controller.
Oh, gosh.
Und du bist dann nicht so gut. Halt. Und nein, ich bin fertig.
Nice Africa Corps uniform.
What?
Nice Africa Corps uniform. Yep, good luck wearing that in the desert.
This would suck in the desert.
It's all tight, and now just imagine it full of sweat, and then that.
Well, it's only fucking tight from literally like right below my tits on up.
Yeah.
And I hate the fucking European cut like that. Like,
yeah, it's
what the fuck?
Because they have like that skirt like flared out on all their uniforms, like right below the waist.
I know, but it's like it fits so well, like below the tits. It fits great.
Yeah.
It's just like, god damn.
It's not meant for broad-shouldered North American people. It's meant for European people.
Very tall, very skinny Scandinavian from Sweden.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Lutefisk and pine trees.
Lutefisk.
Oh, gosh.
We've got some Lutefisk. We're going to wrap it in lefse.
Oh, that doesn't even sound good.
Lefse is actually pretty good. It's potato.
I know lefse sounds pretty good, but if you're just going to slap a big dollop of lutefisk on it, it kind of ruins both of them.
I've actually never had lutefisk. I've smelled it, but the smell was one of those. It's like that was enough for me to like go. I don't really want to try it, and I didn't.
You should. It's an experience. Just imagine like
eating I love it when
room temperature Vaseline that kind of tastes like fish.
Yeah, I've heard that it's. But here's the thing: is all the dumb fucking Swedes around here. It's like, oh yeah, lutefisk, yeah, that's the thing. Oh, it's so delicious. Yeah, you got to try her once in your life, And
then never eat it.
It's like, what the fuck? Why would I eat a like very poor person's food? It's fish that you tried to preserve by using lye. Yeah, which is not okay.
I mean, it works okay. It turns it into petroleum jelly.
Right, but it's just like the fucking smell. Ugh.
It's not bad. You eat it with other stuff, though. Don't ever eat it plain.
No, here's the thing: is like I've had pickled herring, which does not smell good, does not sound good.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of fish. I tried pickled herring, and at first, I was chewing on it, and I'm like, no, wait, actually
It's pretty
not.
good, yeah.
Oh no, wait. It was one of those things where I'm like, huh. Yeah, I probably wouldn't take a second helping, but like, okay, now I know what it tastes like. And all of a sudden, like a couple minutes later, I'm like, God damn it, I want another piece of that shit.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I went and grabbed it. I'm like, okay.
That's how it is. It's kind of like your first beer. That first one is never good, but once you get one in you, you're like, it's not bad.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
but lutefisk is like the same way. You just got to have the right stuff to like eat with it. Don't if someone's just like, here's a spoon. Don't ever do that.
I mean, I'll try most foods.
Yeah.
I'll try them just to say I did.
Yeah.
And pickled herring, yeah, I'd eat it again. I really don't think there's anything that I wouldn't eat again that I've tried. Anything with mushrooms, though.
I love mushrooms. Mushrooms are great.
I know we've talked about this before.
They're so fucking expensive, though. They're getting real goddamn expensive.
Well, it's because they can be.
Yeah, it depends on which ones you're getting. If you're just getting the crappy like white button mushrooms, where you get like the blue tub of them, they're cheap as shit. But like good mushrooms, expensive, really, really expensive.
Yeah.
Really, really expensive.
Yeah, my neighbor, he forages for morel mushrooms. So if you want some of those, come down and we'll.
I do like.
Do that this spring.
I do like morel mushrooms. Those are good.
You know what, RK? You're a fucking asshole. Fuck yourself. I'm not gonna deal with that kind of bullshit. Or he's like, you need to lose some weight. I'm really concerned. It's like, okay, thank you.
Maybe he was just genuinely concerned about you, Mike.
I don't give a fuck. He doesn't know me, so you can go fucking. You can suck a Taco Tuesday fart straight out of my fucking rotten ass. Fuckity bye.
Well, that's gonna be bad because you're allergic to gluten.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's it's not just gonna be gas. It's gonna be fucking liquid. Petroleum fucking based.
Ooh.
So anyway, we'll move past that. But yeah, I mean, I try mushrooms every few years just to see, and I go into it with like a neutral attitude.
I'm the same way. Yeah, you got to try everything multiple times.
Right, your taste buds change.
Yeah,
but like it's every few years, and it's always the same result. It's just like literally a physical. Like there's foods that I'm like. No, and I'll still eat them, swallow them. But like mushrooms, it's like what the fuck? Why?
I know other people that are like that too, and it's like it's the texture thing. It's so spongy and soft, and it tastes like mold smells. Have you ever been in like a moldy room?
Yes, and that's the
like
thing.
Mold smells, yeah.
That's the problem. Is like I think the taste of like the mold.
Yeah,
my body just goes nope.
That's poison. Get rid of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, RK got banned.
Oh, it's gonna be another night of this shit. Oh, trolling. Oh, it's funny. Oh, for the lulz. Oh.
Right. The gulag.
I mean, if it's gonna be this shit, fucking Devin and I'll just get off of here and talk. Like,
that's true. Oh, did you see that?
Oh, nice.
It's only 132 years old.
It'll probably still fire after delay.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I was shaking them all like individually, and they sound really good. And they like dipped all the rounds like in wax, like almost entirely. So they're probably pretty well sealed. So
thanks, Golden. Woo!
Always. That's right. Good times. My crowdfunding worked out despite the fact that I've got like no subscribers and nobody watches my live streams. We hit my goal, Mike.
What did you hit?
The $200. It took like a week and a half, but we did it. My like 10 regulars on my streams came through for me.
It works.
It does. It was very nice. So, which I'm all about. That's a lot of that's going towards getting finally the equipment for the Austro-Hungarian uniform.
when you're ordering that cord, order one for me, and then
I'll get you one.
Like I said, yeah.
We're gonna do it. It's gonna be good. We're gonna
Yeah,
finally finish that. That's one of the primary goals this year is to finish that whole.
Yeah, agreed.
Got to definitely do that. So.
Yeah, the cool thing is, it's coming up on that a week before surgery and about 3 weeks after. I'm not gonna be able to eat shit, so I'll lose a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to squeeze into all that the pants that I got that were too small.
Yeah.
The Austro-Hungarian ones.
They'll fit like perfect.
Yeah, it'll fit good. Yep. And that's I got the buckle, but I'm just cheating and I'm using like a German belt, but it's a leather, brown leather one.
It's all that matters. Yeah, it's the same thing. They're all the same.
Yeah, they're the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that's what I've got, and I ordered some pouches a while back and they never came, so I fucking got a refund for those. But I'm trying to get the correct pouches because they were both right facing.
Yeah, I see people all the time that have them because that was a World War II thing. They had them.
Yep. Well, it's Bulgarian. Yeah.
Yeah, but the actual Austro-Hungarian ones all face left because they wanted you to pull it with your right hand to load with your right hand.
Yeah, it was.
So. Yeah. Yes, they all slanted to the left side of your body.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
So,
and then all you need is a bread bag, and then you're set.
It's funny, the M95 bayonet I have does not fit on my long rifle.
That's the same thing with like that ersatz bayonet I have. It goes on, but it's tight.
Oh, mine won't even fucking go on. Like
really?
Yeah.
Did you just get a new barrel at some point? Some of the Bulgarian ones are like
no,
that.
It's not the barrel. It's the lug. It's the lug. So
fair. Probably more Bulgarian parts. They made small parts, so
yeah. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Either or. I love mine. I got to take it out and shoot it more often. If it wasn't so fucking cold.
Yeah, I know. So the thing is, like, even if you can get it out right now at 100 yards on a cold barrel.
Yeah, especially with how thin those barrels are, too.
Yep.
My favorite World War I, the M95. I love my M95.
The M1917.
That's probably the best one overall, but he said my favorite.
Yeah, my second favorite would be the M95.
Yeah.
But my absolute favorite is the 1917.
Fair. 1917 easily the best one, but I mean, the M95 had to be pretty damn good for the enemy to write a whole song about it. So it's the only rifle in World War I where that was a thing. You don't see songs about the Mauser 98.
It's too bad Switzerland didn't get involved because then we could say the 1911 was the best one.
That's fair, yeah. The 1911 was pretty much clean fucking house on everybody in that war.
Fuck. Yeah. Yeah.
Can't beat that. Gosh. Top 3 Mauser variants.
Oh, Jesus. Don't start doing this shit.
That's right. Well, see, Kanata knows the song.
I already made a top 5 Mauser video. Like the top, my favorite Mauser variant is the Swedish M96. Hands down.
I'm going to say the 1871, the Siamese, and the Haitian. There we go. That should clear it up.
Well, the Siamese 1903 is good, but the Swedish M96, the caliber is better.
Oh, I was just trying to say ones that nobody would ever want. I was just trying to horrifically piss everyone off with those selections. So, just throw some way out there to left field.
The 1903 is not a fucking Mauser rifle. It's close enough to where they were.
But it's not a Mauser, yeah.
Right, they were paying royalties, and then they figured out we don't have to pay royalties because it's whatever. So that's a fucking.
Because technically, the Arasaka's a Mauser. The 1970.
No, it's not.
The P14's a Mauser. Well, if we're going off his logic, yeah, they are.
Oh yeah. Everything. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just about everything's a Mauser. The Remington 700's a Mauser. So,
God, I get sick of that whole thing. The 1903 is just a Mauser.
No, it's not.
No, if you ever looked at them side by side, no, they're not.
No, they're not. They're
It's very
clearly
similar.
derived from the other. Yeah, but it's not. So
It's the same concept. It's like saying the Hamas 49 and the Hakim are just the same gun. No, they use the same concept
yeah,
in their action.
true.
But
A lot
it's
of
a
people
totally
don't
different.
know this.
Right.
Well, they get it confused all the time. But the 1903 isn't even based off of the 1898. It's actually based off the 1893, but they didn't like cock on close. They switched it to cock on open. Because they literally built it based off of Spanish Mausers they got from Cuba.
And used a 2-piece firing pin.
Yeah. So they built it based off of not even the Gewehr 98, which is what everyone thinks they're based off of.
Right.
So, just like everyone thinks that the AK-47 is based off of the Sturmgewehr.
The FAL is closer to the STG-44 than the fucking AK-47 is.
Yeah, the fun thing I tell people is like, do you actually know what the AK-47 is based off of? Because Mikhail Kalishnikov, he wrote it down in his memoirs what he got to base the AK-47 off of.
Well, the M1.
It's an M1 Garand.
Yeah, it's a long stroke piston system.
Yeah, it's literally based off the M1 Garand. He says that word for word in his memoirs when he was talking about designing the AK-47. He's like, it's an M1 Garand.
Well, here's the thing that people get confused by is like the concept of the Sturmgewehr is what Kalashnikov used. The concept.
I think people are just putting them side by side and being like, "Yep, that did it."
No, well, it's a curved magazine. It's like it's a superficial fucking resemblance. Oh wow,
exactly.
Well, the AR-15's got a curved magazine. The AK's got a curved magazine. Are they the same thing? No.
I mean, kinda. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's like it's the thing. It's like so the AK's got a long stroke piston system.
Mm-hmm.
Very few firearms have that because it does affect accuracy if you're going for an immediate follow-up shot full auto, right? Which is the problem they have with the M14.
Yep.
Other than that, the concept of having an intermediate caliber automatic or select fire rifle that could be issued to most troops instead of a bolt action rifle.
Yeah.
That was the concept he took from the Sturmgewehr.
Yeah.
That's it. Because the Sturmgewehr was considered a machine pistol.
Yeah.
It wasn't even really a rifle at that point because they didn't know what the fuck it was.
It was more like a more powerful submachine gun is what they were using it as.
Right.
So.
And so it's like, yeah, well, we'll use that concept.
Mm-hmm. But people keep telling all the time that it's based off the Sturmgewehr. It's not.
No. The overall concept, yes, it was influenced.
Yeah.
Overall by that concept. But yeah, the M1.
Yep.
Oh, the History Channel was the fucking worst. Oh
they
my
got
god.
A lot wrong, actually, yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I love was that old fat guy who was in Vietnam. I forgot what his name was. The show was a piece of junk.
The show was great.
Right, and he's like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Everybody hated it. It didn't work. Well,
the 30-06 one didn't work.
The 1918 version
one worked really well. So,
well, it's also the French said, hey, it's a new rifle. You need to use it exactly how we tell you, or it's going to have problems. And the Americans just went cyclic on it, right?
Yep.
And the French were like, no, you need to fire in bursts and then keep walking and like cool it down.
Yeah.
Or else the barrel's going to expand and the shroud's going to expand and it's not going to allow the barrel to reciprocate.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, yeah, it's just Americans being fucking arrogant and dumb and whatever.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, people talk about how well America is and how they're like the best fighting country in the world, you know. And in World War I, they put up the 5th highest casualty rate despite being only there for a year.
Oh, I know.
So,
it's arrogance, man. It's Americans are like, yeah, let's go into battle. It's gonna be fucking fun, and then they get to do it. They're like, God, this was dumb.
Yeah, like
Shit, but we're
said,
here.
don't walk out there. You know, you got to keep your head down because they have machine guns, and the Americans are like, no, we'll just get there before they shoot us. That
a lot of like, so with the unit that I was in, and like when I was reading about the history of them in World War One, because they were with the French.
Yeah.
They were in a French sector and they were training with the French. I don't know if I showed you the videos that I found.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the thing I saw from the French generals and lieutenant colonels and all that shit from the unit was the fact that when they were attacking, right, when they're doing a big, large attack,
yeah,
the French would say, okay, we're at 45% casualties, get the fuck back. And the Americans would say, nope, we're almost there. And the French were like, no, you're not. You're going to get massacred.
Yeah.
And the Americans were like, fuck that. We're going to keep going. And they just kept going. If we get
massacred, but we take it, we still took it.
Right. And that was the thing is like the Americans go, we have insane casualty rates, but we took this piece of land that you've been trying to take for 3 fucking years.
Yeah.
And it's not being cocky or anything. It's just like, it's just a different kind of mentality. It's like the Americans are willing to do that just to fucking bam, punch a hole, disrupt the enemy. Like, because these French guys they've been engaged for 3 years at that point. It's like they don't want to get any more guys killed than they have to.
Yeah.
The Americans, however, are like, well, shit, we just got here, let's fuck some shit up. We haven't been in a good war in a long time. And what do we got?
Derv.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Fuckity bye. But yeah, it's insane to see it. What was cool is like when one of the battles, I think I've told you this, but like maybe I haven't told people in the stream, is with the 32nd Division, is they did just what I said.
Yeah.
And they got to this town that had not been touched by the Entente powers in 3 years. And the French lieutenant colonel or the battalion commander or whatever the fuck their equivalent is went up to the American battalion commander who survived and started chewing his ass. He's like, why are you doing it? We told you to pull back. And then the Americans were all standing around going, okay, look where you're standing right now. And the French commander was like, oh my God. Oh my God, we took it. Send up everybody. Like, okay. And so the Americans were like, yes, we have a lot of casualties, but we need to take, you told us to take this. That was the objective. We're going to fucking take it.
That's right.
So, yeah. It's insane. Just like, yeah, in World War One, like, yeah, you're right. Because, well, but here's the thing is there was 120,000 American deaths in the First World War.
Yeah.
Of that, 60,000 were combat related.
Yep.
The other 60 were what? Spanish flu.
That's right. Spanish flu doesn't wear a German uniform though, so it doesn't count.
Right.
I was also telling somebody the other day that I was making fun of the French again. I was like, do you know back in I was telling him like in World War One, do you know what gun the very first American used to shoot at a German?
Well, I don't know what it would be, a Lebel or a Berthier.
It's a Berthier because a bunch of black soldiers went over there first because America was racist and they wouldn't fight with black troops, but the French would take them.
Yeah, that was a funny. There was a letter written. Gosh, I forgot what the fuck it was. There was a letter written by the chief of staff of the Secretary of the Army. I don't know, to the French equivalent.
Yeah,
basically warning them about black or Negro soldiers.
And he's like, we don't have any problems with them. Yeah.
No, keep them away from your women. Don't let them do this. Don't let them do that.
Yep.
And the French equivalent looked at it and went,
yep.
And yeah. So they were there. Dude, those guys got fucked.
Yeah, but they got treated better over in France. The American uniforms, French helmets, French guns, French equipment.
Yeah, but then they go through all that shit.
We're out of French guns.
Yeah, but they go through that. They go through all that shit, and they were still fighting in the name of the U.S.
Yeah.
And they come back, and it's like
they get treated just like before they left. Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, that was fucked up. That whole story.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it was. And what's funny is that wasn't actually used in the civil rights movement.
No, and it should have been, because like I keep telling people that, I'm like, because America was so racist and divided, they wouldn't fight with these black soldiers. But a lot of the only units that were actually ready to go when the war kicked off for America were black.
Well, they weren't ready to go. That's why they sent them there.
Yeah. So the French would take them. They said, "We'll take them because we have all the shit. Give us the people."
Yes.
So, and they went over there, and so the very first.
I didn't say the fucking N-word.
So.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I thought that was funny though, and people are making fun of the French, and I was like, no, the French did a lot.
Yeah, no, there's the 368th and 369th regiments. Those guys kicked ass, and they came back and got nothing for it. Nothing.
Yep.
Which, I mean, okay.
It's America. What do you expect?
But at that time, everybody else that came back got this huge parade.
Yeah.
And it was like, huh.
Well, I just thought that was a fun fact.
Well, it is a fun fact because, yeah, they often get overlooked in history.
Well, yeah, the U.S. deliberately tried to bury a lot of that stuff. So.
Well, yeah, the first U.S. soldiers that actually fired
shots in anger
at Germans, in the First World War, were black.
Yeah, with French guns and French equipment.
With French, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so.
Oh well.
I mean, to be fair though, like the French, they weren't all cool.
No,
they had colonial troops.
People in France too, yeah.
Right. They had colonial troops, but they also didn't like most of them.
True.
But they were used to them.
That's right.
The thing is, like, they had so many colonial troops that it was like even the French civilians were like, okay, we're used to them, you know. And at least the guys from New York and Harlem, they spoke English.
That's right.
You know, so like the French
speak English, yeah. So.
Yes. Yeah, and so it was like, oh, this is different. But yeah, it's really bad how those guys, and a lot of those guys, they got like the Distinguished Service Cross, and the French equivalent, you know, the Croix de Guerre with fucking oak leaves, or I'm sorry, not swords and all that shit. And then I didn't drop the fucking, oh god damn.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Fucking Christ. I'm just so sick of fucking idiots. These fucking virgins that don't have a goddamn life sitting on here. Ugh! I'm sure they reported the stream a million times. I did not say the N-word. I said Negro.
Right. They can report it all they want. YouTube's pretty good about going in and actually looking and screening.
Right.
So.
And I was saying in context that this guy was warning about the Negro troops in 1917.
Yeah.
So.
That was how you would say it back then. But YouTube's suppressing history like really hard right now. So.
Yeah, and it's like if we get fucking shut off, whatever, we'll just talk.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck at this point. It's like you get so many people that are so fucking miserable and so fucking lonely and worthless right now.
Well, I mean, have you seen how long quarantine's been going on for some people?
It's been going on before that.
Now quarantine's been going on that long.
It's been going on before that. It's been. I used to be one of those people. That's how I know about it.
Yeah.
I used to be one of those people, like from 2012 to like 2014. It was hardcore, miserable, shit posting online, being an asshole to make myself feel better. Guess what? It doesn't end well.
No, it just makes you hate yourself more.
Yep. And it comes to a head. And eventually you realize that you need to grow the fuck up and you
just got to take the Canadian approach and just be friends with everybody. Just hug it out.
Oh, Canadians are rough online, dude. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, it's online.
Okay, so it only took 40 minutes. Nice. I'm from Sweden. Is that M39, 59, 58? Yes. It's an M39, 58 because of the gusseted things. But this is an M39 tunic that was updated Still not big enough for my big ass American body.
It'll
The
fit
gut,
after your surgery.
my fat gut fits okay.
Yeah.
The chest though is just tight in the fucking shoulders.
All
It's
the
like,
European
God.
uniforms are. But it'll fit better after your surgery, so.
Not the chest.
Well, I mean, if you lose enough weight, it'll work.
Dude, no. I don't want to do that.
Oh, come on now. We'll see. When's that? A week from now?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
About, yeah. So
Navajo code talkers. What about them?
go watch Wind Talkers. You'll learn everything about them.
Opinion on the Navajo? No opinion.
I kind of said the N-word. Are you shitting me?
He didn't say the N-word. You're fine.
Oh my God. Are people really getting that fucking ridiculous? Like, are we serious? I kind of said the N-word.
No, he didn't.
I mean, good God, do you even... I mean, how fucking stupid can we be?
I mean, Mike, it's America. Come on now.
Well, this is worldwide, but like, I mean...
Yeah. Well, if your channel's like mine, it's like 95% Americans. So.
Yeah, cool. You know what? Fuck you guys. Fuck all of you. Nope, these guys that are just doing this shit.
I think Game Genius was just being ironic. I don't think he was actually doing anything.
Didn't ban him. What the fuck?
He was blocked.
Who?
Game Genius.
No. Whoops.
Yeah, I don't think he was doing anything wrong. Helmet Tides was, but I don't think Game Genius was.
My mouse is also very fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it is.
Well, I don't know if you could unban him, but I'm sure he's like, what did I do?
Yeah, God damn it. No, this. Oh my God. Do I seriously need a new fucking mouse? Okay, that seemed to fix it.
Oh, there we go. See, look at that. We're scot-free now.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Shot red, but like, it's not the fact that I'm like worried about being called a racist. I'm just like, are we that dense where the word Negro in historic context is now the N-word? And like,
I mean, they did take down all those Civil War statues.
Right, I guess you can't say that, you know.
So they even took down the one with all the black people in it.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah.
Why would you shut down the stream? You want to say it one more time? Is that what you want?
We could at least make it an hour.
That's the whole goal. No, shut down the stream. No, I'm not going to shut down the fucking stream. I didn't do anything wrong, so I'm not going to shut down the fucking stream.
Oh, I can't say Civil War statue. Darn it, that's right.
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, you can. Fuck it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We have freedom of speech in this country. I forgot. That blew my mind. Thanks, Mike, for reminding me.
Wir sind nicht Österreich. In ihm. No. Fuck, I forgot that part of the fucking sentence. It's German.
He'll give us $1,000 if you drop the N-bomb on Hiroshima right now.
I've dropped the N-bomb on streams before. It was unintentional. I was also quoting a black fucking comedian.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, that's true.
And nothing happened because it was like a couple of years ago when nobody was like, oh, I'm so bored. I'm going to try to fuck over this person I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah.
No,
you didn't do anything wrong. Those people are just getting all butthurt over nothing.
No, I'm not worried about it. I'm just like, I'm more frustrated that there's these people that are sitting here
that have
with
nothing
literally
better to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, really? You're that fucking lonely and fucking miserable.
Yeah. But you can't teach history anymore because there's ugly parts of history, Mike.
Oh no, fuck it. I'm gonna teach history. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, people got to teach actual history. You can't water it down for people,
right?
Otherwise, it happens again.
And you know the funny part about that shit, like, okay, so we'll talk about because Black History Month, right? Which I don't think is okay.
We were literally talking about I forgot it was Black History Month.
Right.
We were literally talking about Black history in America in Black History Month.
Right. And so when I talk about it in context, if they want to censor me, that's fine. Here's the thing: is like, to me, Black history is just American history. I don't think there should be a fucking separate thing because, like, we don't have White History Month, we don't have Hispanic History Month, we don't have Asian
White Race Appreciation Day.
I never fucking heard of that. So
it's June 16th. It's the day before my birthday.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's the one day a year you're allowed to be proud of being white. So you get a whole 24 hours, Mike. Spend it wisely.
Okay, no, I knew that was my internet. Like, what'd you say?
It's like, well, remember, Mike, you get a whole 24 hours on June 16th to be proud of your race. Spend it wisely.
I don't want that though. Like,
but how come here's the thing: is a whole month.
The whole point that I have is like, I have never actively oppressed somebody because of their skin color or their whatever. I have never done that. Yeah. So how the fuck am I somehow responsible and made to feel guilty for something that I didn't fucking do? That's the problem that I have with that. Like,
yeah, and they make people feel guilty for something that didn't even happen in our lifetime.
You're right. It did. Yeah, it hasn't. It hasn't been since. I mean, well, besides like isolated cases, which are always gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
You've got ignorant fucking people of all colors.
But it's not like me and you were alive when segregation was still a thing.
No, but like you've got ignorant fucks that are gonna like beat the shit out of somebody because they're gay or because they're black or because they're Hispanic or because they're Asian or you know, and vice versa. Like, it doesn't
exactly.
This reverse racism thing does not exist. It's just racism. There's been white people that have been gotten the shit beat out of them
for driving
in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people are assholes. Just people in general, human beings are assholes.
That's true.
Okay?
Look what we do to the cows.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, oh, history, my history. It's like, well, you want to bring up history? Let's fucking debate history then, asshole. Because most of these people are just like, no, it's a marginalized group in history. It's like, well, okay, let's fucking bring this up then.
Yeah.
Let's bring up who's been marginalized in history. And it's like everybody has at some point.
That's true.
And it's like, I'm sorry that, you know, I had nothing to do with the fact that your ancestors suffered, and you had nothing to do with the fact that my ancestors suffered before that.
That's true.
I'm sorry. Can we just fucking move on and like try to make it a better world from here on out?
That's right.
Or do we have to be stuck in the past? I don't know. I'm just I get so fucking sick of this.
The past. So what is you getting butthurt about it now going to change?
Right. Let's work together and move forward together. I don't have a problem with you based on your skin color. I'll have a problem with you if you're a fucking asshole. End of story.
Fair.
You know, it's like, and most people with an IQ above 80 nowadays kind of think the same way. Like, I'm not going to judge you because your skin's darker or lighter than mine.
True.
If you're an asshole, I don't want to be around you. Fuck it. You know, it's like, oh man, me too. It's just, but in this illusion that the media and that these fucking ass clowns that have the media's ear and ratings and the government. It's like this pandering. It's such a small amount of people that are actually like this.
Well, the media is only showing the extremes of each side. They're not,
or the most bigoted and racist themselves.
They're not showing the 95% of other people who don't care.
Just don't give a fuck. It's like, okay, I have light skin. You have dark skin. You recover from a sunburn a little bit faster than me. That's literally all that we're different as far as skin color. Now your culture, you might have grown up in the inner city. I grew up in the small town America. That's a difference we have, but let's sit there and talk about it if you so choose. If you don't want to talk about it, fucking fine. A white guy from the inner city might have the same reaction. Ooh, I know, that's so fucking weird.
What do you do?
I don't know. I had to rant about that shit. I had to rant about that because it's like I'm so fucking sick of people buying into this divide. Like, oh, everybody's out to get you if you're black. It's like, no.
No, they're not.
No.
Like I said, the divide is between that top 2.5% on either side. That's who's divided against each other. Everyone else doesn't care. They're normal people.
Right. And I know, it's insane. And it's funny that they target the black people, though, because, they're a minority, yes, sure. And so are Asian people, and so are Hispanic people.
Asian is actually the largest growing minority in America right now. I know, we're not supposed to talk about that, but...
They're white.
They're white enough for America.
So are Hispanics. Yeah. Everybody's working against the black population. Everybody, according to these fucks.
Yeah.
So it's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, ugh. But anyway, I hope that more people will see through this bullshit every single day. And it does tie back to what we were talking about. It does tie back to what we were talking about in the First World War of actual racism, of a bunch of well-to-do white guys in the military and government that literally sent letters to France warning them about our Negro soldiers and whatever. It's like, when you read the letter nowadays, you go, Jesus, really?
Yeah.
But when they typed that shit with every amount of meaning, they were so concerned, and it's like, what the fuck, man? And then those guys ended up just doing great, and the French loved them.
Some of the best soldiers in the
Well, they weren't the best, but they also weren't the worst. They did really well.
They did their job. And they had to overcome a lot more problems than the regular Americans did. They had to try to learn this language divide. They trained on new equipment.
One really interesting thing that I learned was, so the French, they had their 2-liter bidon canteens, right?
Yeah.
So they had a wine ration of 2 liters of wine per soldier per day. Yeah,
they carried 2 canteens. You had one for water and one with your wine. Yeah.
Right. 1 to purify it, and 2 because it's like wine.
Yeah.
Well, you give a bunch of black guys from Harlem who usually don't drink much.
Yeah, because that was at the time of wine, really poor, terrible.
You give them 2 liters of wine a day,
and this is back when wine is 17% alcohol.
Dude. So you got a bunch of these black U.S. soldiers that are doing training, going, je suis, whatever the fucking word is. And the French were like, why are you drunk? What did you do? It's like, well, they're not used to drinking fucking 2 bottles of wine plus per day.
Yeah.
And then so they started giving them a half ration of wine.
They used to water it down for them, yeah.
Right, but they still give, they're like, well, instead of 2 liters, we'll give you 1 liter, which is still a whole bottle of wine a day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, man. So these guys were fucking trashed at the beginning, and they're like, oh, fuck, we got to build up our tolerance, I guess, because their water was so shitty.
God, yeah. That's funny, though.
But can you imagine that? Being like a dude that just does not drink? Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're just
the French are like, here's your 2 bottles of wine, your first day you get there.
And wine, the smoothest, warmest drunk possible. It's like, I can't actually hit the fucking target because I don't want to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
Oh man.
But no, that was a funny story, like about some of these guys wrote back and they wrote their journals and they wrote letters and shit. They're like, these French guys, they got us drunk.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
well, it's like the British had the rum ration and crap still in the army.
Yeah.
Too. We only got 2 tablespoons a day, but they would like save it up.
Yep.
Because they basically give you like a little shot bottle of it, and guys were like hoarding these like shot bottles, and they'd get like 50 of them and take
go to town
alcohol, and then they'd go fight. Yeah, just wrecked.
Yeah, well, I know in the Battle of the Somme, not just because of the TV, the movies and all that shit. I know in the Somme, like they gave extra rum rations.
Yeah, it kept soldiers more mentally stable.
Well, it got them to go up over the top.
Exactly. So.
And oh goddamn,
it would have been a rough place to be for sure.
It was funny because like most people, from what I've read, I could be wrong. Most people, French and British in the Somme on July 1st, they fucking knew. They're like, something's not right.
Yeah.
Like, if we go over the top, we're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to be done. And, like, I don't want to do that. And the officers were even like, you're right. And they were trying to, like, talk to them, be like, well. And then the higher ups were like, well, it's the largest artillery barrage ever on record.
Yeah, it's totally worked in the other large offenses we had where it gets the German bunkers real good.
And yeah, so that's what I read, that most of them, French and British, knew it was going to be a fucking slaughter.
Yeah. Well, they
had not in their favor.
Off for done. So.
Oh my God, that's what pisses me off about like people that are like, oh no wonder the French surrendered. It's like, we're talking about the Second World War, and we can get into that in the future. But
yeah,
the French did not lose the First World War.
No,
they were the ones that held the Western Front.
Yeah, 75% of the line was French.
And I'm not minimizing what the British, Belgian, and other forces into it, Canadians. I'm just saying, if the French hadn't held the Western Front in the First World War, France may be a German-speaking country today.
Yeah, and here's the thing, though. For the might of the, American Army and Marine Corps and the Canadian Army and the British Army and all of their dominions, and of course, the Belgians being there, the Indian troops being there, the Chinese
Anzacs,
even, they only held 25% of the line and still managed to almost lose it. The French, by themselves, the other 75% of the line.
Right, and that's the thing, is like when the Americans, what people don't understand is like the Americans didn't open up another front when they got to Europe. They literally just fortified weak French positions and some British positions.
Yeah, well, they took, they folded right in between where the French and British went, which is right along the Argonne Forest, the Meuse-Argonne offensive. Yeah.
Nope, not initially. Nope.
No, not
so what happened was, so Pershing was there, obviously, and then so the unit that I was in and that I portray is like the 32nd Division. They were, I think, number 6 of divisions over there. They got there in February of 1918, and what happened was the French were sitting there going, okay, we're going to take this battalion down to here. We're going to take that battalion down to there. We're going to take this battalion, like just piecemeal, right? And Pershing was talking to the French. He goes, no, if we're here, we're Americans. I will command them as a division where to go, and then when we get there, you can break them up. You tell me as a division or an army group, rather, turned out to be, where to send the guys, and then we'll break them up from there with American and French advisors. But we're Americans, we're autonomous. Like that was a big battle that Pershing had in early 1918.
Well, yeah,
was the French,
Allied commander in World War I was French. So
right, and he thought that it was just going to be, farming out the Americans by battalion, even company in some cases. It's like, well, no,
they were just going to dump them wherever the lines were weak. Yeah,
right. And then Pershing was like, no, we'll go by, we're still Americans.
To give us a sector.
And he was actually right.
Yeah.
Because if the Americans, I in my opinion, like this is a what if thing. I hate doing this, but like, if I think if the Americans had been farmed out just constantly like the French wanted to, they would have just been thrown into the same fucking meat grinder that had been going on for 3.5 years at that point.
True. I mean, even without that, imagine the logistic nightmare of now having American units spread out across the line. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
Ammo
their own sector. That way, they all speak the same language. They have the same shit. The supplies only go one place.
Yep.
World War I was the first war where it was basically not won with valor. It was won by bean counters, attrition. You know, it came down to this unholy mathematics of what was going to win the war, not
and luck,
valor or fury or anything like that. It was just.
And it's funny because the guys like in the 30th U.S. Division, the North Carolina Division, that were sent up into Belgium, into a British sector, they were so far removed from the supply line of the Americans and the French, and they were like, you know what, we're going to issue you SMLEs and British ammunition and grenades and all that stuff. And so they were issued that unit. The American unit fought with SMLEs and Mills bombs and all this British shit while wearing American uniforms. So, and that was a white American unit.
Yep.
And so they did that, and then there was one other unit too. I can't think of it right now, but the same thing. But the 32nd and most of the other divisions that were down south in France, in the Champagne region, or the fucking anyway. So the 32nd went. Their first big campaign was in Alsace-Lorraine. You know, which they thought the Germans were going to launch a huge offensive in, but they ended up not doing that.
Yeah.
And so they defeated, I mean, there was still combat there, and that was where the 32nd got their baptism of fire. And then they moved on, and then they did the I cannot pronounce this, OISNE, AISNE campaign, which was, well, whatever, and that's when they fucking got into some shit. And from there on out, that was when the AEF, the American Expeditionary Force, got into some real shit.
Yep.
And that was in late June and July of 1918. And so the 32nd, the 3rd Infantry Division, U.S., the Rock of the Marne, right? That's their fucking, still to this day, that's their motto, right?
Yep.
Because they held this fucking spot, which they shouldn't have been able to. And my unit and the Iowa National Guard, or the 42nd rather, it's not just Iowa, it's Ohio and Alabama, were relieving them. And there was no like, okay, we're just going in here and then we're going to wait for an assault. It's like, you're relieving us while you're getting shot at. All right, you got to keep pushing.
Yep.
So
keep the line moving.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
With all these guys. And this is just what I know. Like, I know other units did a lot of shit. I know Bellawood happened. I know.
Yep.
The 2nd U.S. Infantry.
One of the things the Marine Corps won't stop talking about that one, like everything else.
They were with the Army, but
them and their brand recognition.
Right. I mean, they did kick ass. That's
true.
They did shit that they shouldn't have done. They lost a lot more people, but they took their objective, and the Germans were like, it was one of the first engagements with the Marines, much less the U.S., and they were like, these guys are fucked. Like, these guys are.
They're not finding cover. They're just running across open ground. Yeah,
with bayonets, they could pick us off at 800 yards.
Yeah,
like. Because the thing is, like,
guns perfectly trained at the lip of the trench they're coming out of already.
Well, and here's the thing: is like the thing about the Teufelsrunde thing is a fucking myth. I'll address that later. It's a propaganda thing from a cartoon. They actually didn't call them that. They just said these guys are fucking, because most of the Marines didn't actually wear dress greens. They didn't wear the P-12 or P-17s. They were wearing Army uniforms because of the lack of supply. But anyway.
As per usual with most of the Marine Corps.
The thing about U.S. troops in general, especially the regular Army and National Guard troops that were deployed first, is in the United States, I don't know if this is just a U.S. thing. It seems to be, we are so fucking good at marksmanship. because we have to be.
Yeah.
We've got wide open spaces. If you
Well,
don't,
you got to look at like it was the same way for Canada too. It's a tiny army controlling a large space. You need to make yourself a force multiplier.
But I'm talking about the civilians.
Them as far away as possible.
I'm talking about our cultures, and Canada's the same, but your army is so much smaller. Say you're not in the military. If you want to eat and you're not a good shot, you're not going to eat.
Pretty much.
And so also in training too, like especially in Marine Corps training at that point was a lot more stringent than Army training, which was a hell of a lot more stringent than nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's like our American, I know the Canadian thing, but again, a lot smaller. Always has been. Mm-hmm. But the American military, in every single conflict that we've been in, we've had the advantage of being excellent fucking marksmen.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying everybody, you know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, well, you could even just look at what they went into with rifle design going into World War I. Canada and America went in with target rifles.
Target rifles.
You know, and everyone else went in with combat
battle rifles. Yeah. Battle rifles. Yeah. And it just that was one thing that like the Germans were actually writing about. The survivors of Bella Wood were saying they were 800 to 900 to possibly 1,000 yards away or meters away, and they were hitting us with accurate shots, and we didn't know where they were coming from. And it's like, well, yeah. If you're showing your head and I've got the shot, I'm gonna fucking take it. But also, I've been shooting since I was 7 years old. Most German soldiers at that point were from the cities.
The first time they got their rifle was when they got drafted into the
right. So, and the marksmanship training is, bam, okay, that's how you shoot your rifle.
You got 5 shots, and then they were like, "Here's your way to the front." Right. So,
I mean, for lack of a better term, but yeah, it's basically, and that's the thing is, the U.S. still focuses on marksmanship, not as much as they should, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they should focus on that a lot more.
For sure. You guys got to get more sniper records back. What?
But you know what I mean? Like, because like when I went through basic training, I got expert, and I worked a little bit for it, but it wasn't
hard.
That difficult. I mean, I had to do everything right, but it wasn't like a challenge.
No.
It was just a challenge, right? The Marine Corps, I'd like to actually, I know it's 500 yards. It's with an A4, it's, kneeling and all that shit.
Yep.
I like to try that, but I'd also like to do it like when I was in basic, where you're shooting for a week and a half every day before you actually go out and qualify.
You get lots of practice time, yeah.
And that's the thing about the U.S. is they've always been pretty good about just giving the rounds to practice.
Letting you familiarize yourself with your rifle. Every rifle is different. They all don't shoot the same.
Yep. Get it done. Get comfortable with it, and then we can start zeroing. Okay, your technique, It's like, I don't know. The U.S. is just really fucking good with marksmanship compared to other nations.
Yep.
And it's not dissing anybody else.
No, I mean, you guys have enough money on your military. You should probably learn.
Right. And there are excellent German shooters, Swedish, Chinese, I'm sure, fucking South Korean. But it's just in our culture. Well, it was, I guess.
Yeah, it's going down pretty damn quick.
That's our biggest thing. Well, no, maybe with all the gun sales recently, it'll go back up. But it's like, no. When I got down to basic training, I had never shot an AR-15. Well, I'd never shot an M4 before. We'll say that.
Yeah.
And I got down there, and we were zeroing, and I'm like, okay, this will be good. Because I had grown up with iron sights, I had grown up with rifles, shotguns, pistols, and been familiar. And you could tell the guys that were familiar because they all got expert.
Yep, because they shot better.
But it's how we grew up.
Yeah. Well,
it's like
hunting's a way to eat.
Hunting and just sports shooting, and I was a hunter, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a fun sport. I love it. It's just relaxing and whatever. And a lot of other Americans and Canadians love it. It's like, that's why. So another cool thing it's an anecdotal thing. that I heard of why we didn't take more casualties in like Operation or like Fallujah and the invasion of Iraq and the insurgency that followed until about 2006 really hard.
Yeah.
Is most enemy casualties that they recovered had headshots.
Yeah.
You're not trained to aim for the head in the United States military. You're not.
Well, that's all that they're showing most of the time. You just shoot what you could see.
Right, but the fact that a lot of these were headshots indicates that our marksmanship is
better.
Really good. Yeah, it's like if you're in combat and you're under that much stress and you're able with all your skills to calm yourself down, cool your nerves, and actually be able to go up and take that shot.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean that takes some fucking practice and some skill.
That's true. And I got actually a good thing for Wes Harris was saying that he thinks that modern infantry are trained better than the World War I infantry.
Not better, just different.
I was going to say, I don't think that they're trained better, actually, because you had to rely a lot heavier on training during your World War I, being a World War I soldier, because you didn't have a lot of the training that the U.S. has now is gone because of the equipment they're given.
It's not gone, it's just changed.
Yeah, it's made up for a lot of the shortcomings they didn't have in World War I.
For example, okay. Yes. So things may be different with actual running out infantry shit. However, first aid medical stuff, our basic training as an infantryman, not a combat medic, our combat lifesaver course is more involved and more in-depth and more helpful than an entire World War II field medics training was.
Yeah. That has to do with technology.
Sure.
Yeah.
However, World War I, they know how to clear a trench.
That's right.
Even though it's still a battle drill that's on the books in the United States, we never did that. However, it's just like I said, it's not better or worse. It's different.
Different. It changes based on the conflict. Like something that you probably heard as much as I heard. Every modern military is prepared to fight the last war.
Oh, dude, we were sleeping out in the woods. I was literally wearing fucking LC2 shit in basic training, right? And we were trained to like sleep out in the woods and do Vietnam stuff, ORPs, fucking pull security, all that shit, interlocking fields of fire. And it's Iraq, and it's like this is not Vietnam.
No, but like that. However, military that's your closest frame of reference to what the next combat scenario is going to be is the last war. So
yeah, and I get that, and I think here's the problem and the good thing is I think the U.S. is on top of trying to be at the top of their training overall. I'm not talking their special ops units. I'm talking overall, trying to get everybody that they can trained as best as they can, and they're one of the better ones at it. That being said, that's not a good fucking standard.
No.
Not a good fucking standard. It's there's no like you said that you're always training for the last war. There's no looking ahead. There's no planning ahead.
You can't quite predict what look at everyone thought that World War I at the start was going to be just like the Franco-Prussian War.
Oh yeah, just line
Look how well that turned out. The French soldiers literally marched up there with bright red pants, officers in front with sabers in lines, into machine guns and artillery.
So did Germans.
Yeah, so did the
Germans. At the very beginning, everybody marched that, and then when they figured out they messengered back. Hey, these guys can pick us off at 1,000 yards or meters.
Yep.
What do? Bring out the machine guns, and then it just escalated.
And so then nobody thought that thing was ever going to be what it was. Ever.
Yep. So.
What do you do, though? What do you do?
I don't
know. You'd think if people would keep learning about all these, people would start probably winning some wars, but that hasn't happened for a while.
I just assume wars didn't start.
I would much like to see that happen, but humans
that's
kill each other.
Right, that's how I would win them. Not start one.
Yeah.
You know?
There. The Canadian approach. I like it.
No.
Did you see that thing where like way back, this is like probably way back when I was in too, like 2012, 2013, America got mad at Canada for training with China because you didn't like them?
I still don't like them.
Yeah, I know, but like Canada was like, we're our own fucking country. We can do whatever we want and train with whoever we want.
Well, they are part of NATO, though, and NATO's
but other NATO countries also train with China. But America was like, we don't want you training with China.
Well, I wouldn't either. Like, it's the fucking security threat because you're right above us. Like, China starts getting in good with you guys, learns your secrets because you guys know military shit.
No. China didn't come to Canada. Canada went to China.
No, China came to Canada.
Huh?
China came to Canada. Like, look this up. That was in 2016, was it? You got to look at this channel called China Uncensored. You got to look at this shit.
It'll be fun. It's not that big a deal, though. They can see all the fucking pine trees they want in Canada.
And all your military tactics and your...
Oh, great. All the shit from the 90s Canada still uses. Great.
Doesn't matter.
So, I just thought it's like, why bother? It's not like Canada's going to win a war against China anyways.
No, China's a big threat, though. Like, that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Like,
no, China is they're putting their feelers out in a lot of places they shouldn't, for sure.
Oh, it's not just that. Like, it's never mind. I won't get into it, but like everybody's like Russia, living in the Cold War days.
No, Russia's minding their own fucking.
They're fucked. Business. Russia's fucked.
They're playing their hands really close to their chest.
They're doing damage control.
Yeah.
They're doing damage control.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Canada can't hold an invasion from Zimbabwe, probably, because there's no fucking people in Canada. Like, literally, it wouldn't take much to overrun Canada. Canada's got the same tactics Russia does. They can sacrifice time and space. All right?
Yep.
They have all the space. Canada's big enough, all right, that they can just let whoever invade and wait till fucking winter. All right? Canada can slow you down till winter gets here. That's their only hope.
That's my only hope, too.
That's right. The winter is where Canada does their best, and that's it. They don't have they literally, a lot of third world countries, if they wanted to, have the numbers to take over Canada military wise if nobody else gets involved.
But they don't want to.
Yeah, Canada's the nicest country on earth. That's like
they don't want to invade Canada solely because they know the U.S. will be their most Ricky Tick.
But also, it's like everyone's going to hate you because it's like the bully beating up the nicest kid in school for no reason.
It's like the nice timid kid. You just go over and start slapping the shit, and everybody's like, "Oh no,
now we have to kill you."
Yes. You got a guy my size and shape, and you got a guy that's like 4 feet tall, fucking beating up somebody that's 4'11".
Yeah.
And and then I go over there and go,
No, that's
wham!
You don't
knock
do
the
that.
Fuck out.
I like
Canada's like
when the Iranians seized that Canadian ship and China, America, and Russia all were like, you need to let those people go right now.
What about the 4 Canadians that are still held in China right now?
Huh?
What about the 4 Canadians that are held in China right now?
I don't know. You should okay.
You should they're. Oh man, you gotta get more. I'll tell you about this shit.
What did they do? What did they do? That's what I want to know.
They were in China when the what is it? One of the co-owners of Huawei or some shit got arrested in Canada. They're being held as hostages.
Oh well, that's bad.
Oh, so you didn't know about this? Yeah. Okay.
No, I didn't know about that. First time hearing of it. To be fair, I'm pretty well checked out of the media, so.
Well, this isn't mainstream shit. They're not going to report it on mainstream media because they love China. They're funded by China.
Fair. Well, I like McDonald's toys.
All right, we're going to wrap the stream up. Thanks for watching, all you guys that weren't assholes and trolls. I appreciate it. We'll see you probably on Wednesday or something.